Dude, we have a paper shredder. It's so... I mean, I think I fucked it up because I'm impatient. So, like, the first year that we had the paper shredder when it was brand new and the... You know, the gears and the teeth were, like, diamond tipped. I would just shove, like, 5 pieces of paper at a time. And it would just go... Now... It can only handle 1 piece of paper at a time or it gets clogged. And the ad says that you could do 12 at a time, just for the record, because I looked it up when I was pissed off one day. But it only does 1 sheet of like normal paper. Sometimes we get like glossy marketing materials in the mail, right? And then I try to shred it, and it's like we can't even take 1 glossy page. Shredder's clogged. Why are you shredding junk mail? Honestly, like, I think my bank sells your, like, personal data to, and this is investment posting, but, like, the marketing material that I get, it has, like, on the letter, it has, like, my name and address, and it's like, hey, you might be interested in buying, like, a sector-driven ETF. And I'm like, I don't want to buy your fucking, like, smoking cessation ETF. Like, I just... Like, you wasted, like, $1.50 even sending me the piece of mail, and now I gotta shred that shit, and then, like, once every few months, I gotta take, like, a big garbage can full of shredded paper down into, like, the recycling depot and give it to him. Okay, yeah, good. You know what? We're gonna reset this one. The bomb clip's been a little funky. Didn't answer why he's shredding junk mail. So the letter itself has my personal information on it, like my name and my address. Reset me. Sometimes if you're gonna be like, you didn't say this thing, you gotta listen to the whole sentence that preceded it, okay?
Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Why does it matter? Here's a better question. Why do you care? I shred all... No, not all mail has your personal address on it. Like normal junk mail, it isn't like, this is addressed to Mr. Jones at 123 Fake Street. Like, it's just like a no-frills flyer that they shove in your mailbox because they, you know, paid Canada Post to do it or something like that. Stuff that is like, you know... Old Navy sold your data to somebody. They're like, hey, you like buying shirts, huh? Well, like, here, Mr. Letourneau, look at this. This is a shirt for you. And I'm like, bzzz. But I'm arguing about this stuff with people who don't open their own mail. So you can't win. You mean like email? I am so mad I didn't even know that we got Lakitu Split. We don't get mail like that because we're not homeowners. They could totally give it to you if you're a renter. It'll just be addressed to your landlord instead. We went through that many times. That was close. One of the things that's kind of interesting about being a homeowner, I don't know if this is in all markets, but at least like here, people will just send you like, I mean, not a letter, but like a semi-personalized like piece of marketing material that is literally like, hey, sell us your house. And I'm like, I like it. I live here for a reason. You know, we've only lived here for like 2 years. And they're like, hey, you interested in selling your house? Don't worry. I know where you are. If I want to sell my house, I will contact you. You know, you're not going anywhere, and I'm pretty sure you're going to pick up the phone on the first ring. Don't care, didn't ask. Plus, you're a realtor, okay? Why don't you take 2 of these and call me in the morning? Based, based, based. I got Chad back on my side. Based, based. NL, why do my friends call you boring? Because I don't have text-to-speech on, probably, or like media share. That's my expectation. Which is fine. I'm not upset. It's different strokes for different folks. Like, a lot of people would call Meditations by Marcus Aurelius boring. Maybe they're just not at a place in their life where they've learned how to read yet. I shouldn't have done Wild Blue first. That's my mistake. Did you read Das Kapital yet? Nope. Too busy reading Bloomberg News. Does Das Kapital have an app yet? What the hell? Bro, honest question. What does a realtor do? So, like, I know landlord is the most hated job in Twitch chat, without a doubt. But, like, what does a realtor do? Because I kind of feel like, aren't they just taking, like, 1% off the top? Because, like you're selling a house, but you didn't build the house? Aren't you just shuffling around like a bunch of paperwork? They do the stuff you don't want to do? They facilitate matching a seller and a buyer? I'm a people person! The engineers can't talk to the customers! I'm good with people! It's a jump to conclusions, Matt. Some of best looking kind of zuzzy. Oh, thank you, thank you. Are you good with someone trying to give you minus 20% off market price for your house? Bro, you know where I live? I would honestly, like, applaud them on their audacity. I'm not saying I would never use a realtor. I play, like, a lot of... Or I pay a lot of people for services that I don't understand. But I'm told I have to. I still don't know what the notary did when we got our house in the first place. Yeah, they stamped something. They explained things to us that I didn't need explained. I'm not hating on notaries. I'm being legitimate with you. It seems like kind of a sick gig. We're back, baby. We're back. Minus 0.2. Professional witness? Yeah, I also know that it's like a... It's like a Canadian thing, right? Like, the notary lobby in British Columbia is, like, really strong, and that's why they get paid a lot of money, which is, you know, so be it. Whereas when I was talking about notaries for the first time in the US, they were like, notaries get paid a $25 flat fee per signature, or like per session or something like that, and I was like, holy cow. $1 here? Is less than a candy bar? What the hell? You gotta sign like 100 papers a day, man, just to make rent. Let's go. It's free at the library? Everything's free at the library. That shit's crazy. I'm starting to wonder how those places make any money. What do you do every day when you're done streaming at 5? So, like, from 2 to 2:30, I usually eat lunch. And then from 2:30 to about 4:40, I record some YouTube videos. 4:40 till around 5:20, I'm picking my daughter up from daycare and bringing her back. 5:20 till about 6:15, cooking dinner for the baby and also my wife and myself, and then eating it. Then we have a little bit of family time. Oh, I screwed up the camera there. From 6:15 till 7, the baby goes to bed. Let's say for like 7 till 8:30, I'm making thumbnails, video descriptions, downloading the VODs from Twitch to put them up on YouTube the next day. Excuse me. 8:30 to 9, doing the dishes, various kind of cleaning up. If correspondence is required, via email, sponsored conversations with David and stuff like that. Then like 9 to 9:30, one attempted Mario speedrun sometimes. 9:30, start getting ready for bed. 10 p.m. in bed. That's pretty much it. I mean, my day is like, is very I mean, I could give you the rest of the day too. Like today, I woke up like around 7. Took a dump. That was like me time. Did my Peloton ride. Took a shower. Fed my daughter breakfast. Took her to daycare. And now I'm streaming. And then, you know where the rest of the day goes from there. That's it. And then on the weekends, there's a lot more resting. A lot more resting on the weekends. Because there's only one day on the weekends where I have to download VODs from YouTube and from Twitch and make thumbnails. Help. Damn, this guy definitely reads Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of like a scumbag. I mostly listen to the audiobook. People will think you're crazy for that, but as a parent, that kind of slaps. Dude, that's like people without kids, and I'm not saying like, oh, they're so like ignorant. They just don't understand. Like, you have to have a life that's structured with a baby, or you're gonna go crazy and die. You'll just like your life will be in disarray 100% of the time. As a mother, I don't think, my opinion on this is, and such as many Americans don't even have maps, such as US and the South Africa. Classic viral video. It is read by the author. It's read by Marcus Aurelius. Which I can't understand what that dude is saying at all. But I'm on like listen like 80 or 90 now, so I'm starting to kind of like piece it together. Isn't he super canceled? Well, like his metabolic processes have been canceled. Probably like 1700, maybe like 1800 years ago. Something like that. Yeah, this motherfucker, like I boot up the book and it's like, this is Audible. Penguin Audiobooks presents Marcus Aurelius Meditations, as read by the author. And then this motherfucker's like caveat emptor, sic transit gloria, sic pluribus est parabellum. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But at the same time, do not stop. Oh, baby. Sic mundus, so true. I would love to know his thoughts on climate change and cancel culture. I'd love to know, hey, can we bring back Marcus Aurelius? The Guardian, can we bring back Marcus Aurelius and ask him how he feels about cancel culture, please? We gotta know, man. Come on, don't burn me. We can do this. A little bit of focus. I think I can't speak for Marcus Aurelius, but I think he'd be okay with cancel culture. Because I think he'd be like, whatever, I've already canceled myself in my head 1,000 times. So, like, what are you gonna do? It's not even a joke. Like, I actually think, I mean, if he lives by the central tenets espoused in Meditations, I'm okay. Psychologically, I will recover from this. This is probably like, I don't think it's a 0 cycle, it's probably a 1 cycle. There you go. It Takes Two will come back, okay? It's just... It might not be this week, but it might be this week. I keep forgetting it's a short week. Honestly, until... about like 7 p.m. yesterday, I thought it was Monday. So I lived the whole day yesterday like as if it were Monday. Doesn't really change the way like I live my life, but it was only when I was like driving back from daycare that I was like, holy cow, it's Tuesday. Which means today is Wednesday. It Takes Two is not dead. We just need to find the time. Ooh, green for the first time? Oh shit, what up? Here come that split. Healthy green. Healthy green. That boy, my beloved. There should be like a tier list of all memes. From I'm a fire in my laser till the most recent meme. I don't know what the most recent meme is, but I don't think there's... We've kind of passed the era where like a meme would go viral on Twitter and then just like everybody would just post it and like variations of it. Here's the version of the distracted guy meme for people who work in social media professionally. Things I really need to do. New Jira request just got added to the task list. You know, like I think we've gotten past that. Or maybe I just unfollowed enough people on Twitter that project managers are gonna love this variation of the distracted boyfriend meme. I think I had Jira and Trello confused. What the heck? Sure. A little bit of a late split, too. They're the same thing. Okay. Good to know. Gotta check out Hootsuite. Noted Vancouver unicorn, Hootsuite. How do you know what Jira is? I told you. I'm not like other streamers. I know how to program and also like the very, very basics of project management. Ooh. I'm not starting drama. There's no drama necessary. Did you see me on Schooled? I mean, I came in second, like, for the season. Because I didn't know who Hernan Cortez was at a moment's notice, but... I'm not starting drama, but all I'm gonna say is that in one episode of Schooled, they asked the question, what month comes after October? And one person got it wrong. Okay, so that's... I'm not starting drama. I'm just saying. I'm not that smart. You should see my Coriat scores in Jeopardy when I watch. Oh, that's not how you do it. Are not that high. They're like usually in like the high, you know, 18s, low 20s. Yeah, that split was too fast. He's toxic. This is my toxic era. I'm in my attitude era. You know what? I'm gonna be in my aptitude era. Soul bars. All the drama, people suing me. I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me, so I parallel parked that motherfricker sideways. Wasn't even looking at MIPS, man. Oh, thank you. I think people are like trying to make me nervous. I legitimately like don't care. There's no like, oh, don't choke. You know, I'm having a great time. One day before we're gonna, if you look at every single data point, you're like, man, this is like a long journey. If you're enjoying every step on the journey, before you know it, the S&P 500 is going to be back at 5,000. You don't need to look at the intraday charts. You don't need to look at the green candles and the red candles. Just stick to the investment strategy that you outlined in a less emotional moment, you know, with your financial advisor or, you know, with the little book of common sense investing, and just fucking chill out. Like, close your app. Like, I could just close Live Split right now. No, keep charging the crystals. We need those. The crystals should stay charged. Hang on, I forgot to put the crystals in. In many ways, it is like a Peloton ride. Hey, here's the thing, right? I remember when I first started riding the Peloton, I was like, oh man, it's like such an aspiration for me to get like a ride over 300 output in half an hour. And it seemed like it was impossible. You know, you're hitting like 250, 260, 280, 250, 270. Then one day I crossed 300. Ain't ever come back, man. Now I'm looking at like 400, and I'm like, that shit is so far. Like, that's almost impossible to imagine. 400 output over 30 minutes. Just keep on trucking, you know, 3 months down the road, you're going to end up with a 400. You may never see 300 ever again. We may not get a sub 2156 today, but one day in the future, we'll look back on this moment and we'll be like, man, remember when our PB was 2156 and we were like, that shit's impossible? Might not be today, but it'll happen. You know the world's fucked when your index fund is down 20%? Yeah, like, I mean, it's happened, like, essentially, like, 40 times throughout the stock market's history. And we're still here, man. We're still here. You'll be fine. You got a long enough time scale. Me and Mark Rutsu? Yeah, me and Mark Rutsu. It might go down more. It might go up more. Nobody knows. But you can look at the charts, you know, like long term for some solace. Okay, hold on. Look at that. We're gonna be like right on pace. I do like, so I read a lot of like investing subreddits. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say panic, but like anxiety right now. That's like, are we at the bottom or do we have further to drop? The top comment is always something that's hilarious to me. It's always like, you can't time the market. That being said, I think we're not at the bottom yet. I think that if I had to guess, the first week of March is probably when I would think the bottom is. And I'm like, you're this close. You can't time the market. That being said, my personal market timing thinks that March is... The first week of March, 10 days in the future, is probably going to be... That's my prediction. And the fucked up thing is that like 1 in 1,000 people that says that is right, and then they think they're a genius for the rest of their lives. We're in. We're in. I know we're in. don't get baited into thinking that just because, like, the wall is thicker there, that means you can't fit through there. Just climb, please. Daryl. It just takes one time being right. Well, to convince somebody, yeah. I think the real thing with investing is it only takes, like, one time being, like, omega wrong. Anyway, we're not investment posting, although we did set our last PB going on a rant about bonds. So maybe, like, there's some truth to that. That's alright, I don't mind being shocked. Oh, this shocks you? Bonds? No. Bonds. Cool stuff. Fixed income? Hello? Negative real rates? Hello? Are you listening? Bonds off Broadway? I've never eaten there, but it does always come up in the threads. That is like, what's the best cheap restaurant in Vancouver? People are like, I like Bonds off Broadway. Classic breakfast, $2.95. It does give you diarrhea, though. Fortnite and cola. Okay, that's fine. Yippee. Wait one cycle. Are we doing Chib's cycle clip? You know what? Why risk it? We got a good thing going here. Let's not let a very meager time save cause us psychic damage. Built-in time save for the future. The hater Goomba is there anyway. I didn't even look. I was like, not necessary. Not a good throw, but we can two-tap this son of a gun. Beautiful. Gotta remember, it's always better to underthrow it a little bit. Which is why I yeeted that one full speed in the opposite direction. Sorry, I'm ready for the quick double. Two quick ones. Fired! I can live with this. Good. Now you gotta do a full speed swing. I felt it early. It's not gonna be legit PB. It might be fake PB. Am I in? Did I swing Bowser in the other direction that time? Fake PB is 2231. Real PB is 2156. So we're like very close, man. It's gonna be a fake PB, but by like 2 seconds. Ooh, okay. Okay. I told you we were closing in on it. I was fake here. That's still a really impressive run. That's the first time we've knocked on the door of our old route PB. We're getting there. I am the Sun Bear. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. And there was a lot of stuff that did not go... Oh, I didn't restart. I didn't set the timer. There's a lot of stuff that did not go right on that run. We waited a couple of cycles. We missed more than one Bowser throw, that's for sure. The BLJs were kind of sick. That's true. The BLJs were kind of amazing. How'd you get sub 22 without red coins? Honestly, like, I think I had like the best run of my life that the previous route could do. I think I topped out. Now we're like not even redlined on this new route. We got tons of time saves still coming. I'm not saying we're gonna get it on the next one. This is where you gotta talk about bonds, man. Next time goal, sub 20. I mean, I would accept just like a sub 2156. That would appeal to me. I mean, a sub 20 long term would be a great dream, but sub 26, I'll live with that. Or sub 2156. I mean, honestly, like a sub 26, I wouldn't cry about, to be honest. I'd still be pretty pleased with it. I'm so excited for a game to be excited about. I felt like everybody thought Elden Ring was going to be amazing. And I haven't played it yet. I'm just going based on the reviews. But still, to see the reviews be, like, so good is amazing. Yeah, it's the hype started up for me as well. Like, people are legitimately saying... Like, I felt with Sekiro, which is an amazing game, most of the reviews were basically like... They didn't disappoint. It's a pivot from the formula, and they didn't disappoint. Which is good enough. Like, From Software expectations are always high to begin with. The reviews for Elden Ring are like, this might be like one of the best games ever made, maybe? That's encouraging. Like, a lot of people who very much like Souls were like, this is the, you know, From Software at the top of their game, which is pretty amazing. I'm very much looking forward to it. You motherfucker. You piece of crap. Whoa! I thought for sure that was on there, even after the Good pivot, though. I wonder if Elden Ring is going to be better than Cyberpunk, though? You mean Cyberpunk, the game that got like a 58 on Metacritic on its reviews and got pulled from the Sony stores? Or the PlayStation stores? Based on, like, what the reviews look like so far, I don't know, it seems like maybe it's like 38 to 40 points better. Okay. Now, you can't trust game reviews as an individual, that they're going to give you a representative look of what your experience is going to be like one-to-one exactly. But I think you can get a vibe check for sure, and the vibe check is, like, immaculate right now. There we go. We're probably going to be 30 seconds down. That's my guess. That was probably just bait. For being a person who is cynical, which I am, or can give off that vibe without a doubt. I don't stand for complaining about absolutely everything. Like, there's always some people who are like, wow, that breakfast was really good. And cheap. Yeah, but did you see, like, the bathroom faucets? Who came up with that? Or like, whoa, Elden Ring has got like a 97 on Metacritic right now. Well, remember the last time you were, like, hyped for something was, or not me, but, you know, people were this hyped, was like Cyberpunk, and look how that worked out. Just shut up and, like, be happy for, like, a minute. Like, when shit sucks, complain. When shit's, like, normal or good, and you're like, well, one of the chair legs is like a little longer than the other one. You're like, well, just honestly shut up and eat your eggs, man. It's okay. We're trying to keep the mood high, and you're like, my chair's a little wiggly. Okay, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. I made up a guy to get mad at, but still. I also... whoa. He's moonwalking, man. I find the opposite really annoying as well. And I'm kind of the opposite guy sometimes. Which is like a meteor could hit your house, and you'd be like, you know, well, look on the bright side. At least it was a quick death. You know, you'd be like... Whenever people do that, I'm like, shut the fuck up and just let me be, like, sad or upset for a minute. This shit is annoying. So you could have like a terrible day and people will be like, at least you don't have the worst life on planet Earth. And you're like, yeah, true. But it's like worse than yesterday's, which is what I'm comparing it to. Yahoo! Who's he arguing with? It's a guy in my head. Just a guy in my head. What's his name? Of course I know him. He's me. Tell him to F off? I will not tell him to F off. I love arguing with a straw man, because, like, you always win. There's probably times I've lost to my own straw man, but then that just means I have to change my opinion. Or delete the video. One of the two. He's in. He's in. Dude, I can't believe, like, we bought this barbecue, assembled it, and then, like, it's -4 in Vancouver today. I can't go out on barbecue at -4. Like, I just want to cook something in it. Like, we got a cast iron, so, like, I'll just cook it on the stove instead, but, like, you can, you're Canadian. I mean, I can, but I'll just, like, be uncomfortable. I couldn't believe when I saw the weather today. I gotta go to the grocery store later and make something else. Look, this run is not great, and that's not gonna help. But this is me, okay? I don't want to become a habitual resetter. If things get horrendous, like if we die during red coins, I'll probably reset. Otherwise, though, I think, honestly, this is why, like, I'm punching a little bit above my weight class in the races. Is because I try to make sure that unless the run is, like, a little ass, unrecoverable ass, we play the whole thing out so we get better overall. If your goal is just to PB as fast as possible and then be frustrated because you're not PBing every single run, then as far as I'm concerned, you're building an unsustainable and losing culture. What we're doing, we're trying to maximize consistency. And then the performance, we hope, will come with time. I'm not that worried about, like, not every run being my best, because just, like, psychologically, I don't know if I've been at my best probably since, like, 2015 or so. So, like, this is just another day at the office for me. There you go. There you go, you little squirt. No, that's a lover Goomba that can be as dangerous as a hater Goomba. Because a Goomba that supports you can sometimes elevate you above the station where you'd rather be. We're gonna wait. I gotta learn the non-slow route for that section. It's literally just like a different angle on your long jump. But you know what? That comes in time. Give me a quick little double tap here. Oh, it was a little psycho. That was close. I don't know if you felt the same thing that I felt there, but that, like, I was about 30-70 about whether or not that was actually going to succeed. Okay, we'll just come down here real quick. Built-in time save for next one. Not so bad. It's still not so bad, honestly. He took the damn stairs. You see that? We set him up and forced him to move in the other direction. This is a great song. Like, honestly, I would listen to this in my car. Have I told you guys my Civic platform for when I run for mayor yet? I think I've mentioned it on YouTube a couple of times, but not everybody watches the Isaac episodes. If I ever run for mayor, here's my central tenet, okay? If you are using a paid parking spot for less than 10 minutes, you don't have to pay for parking. I understand enforcement is going to be a little bit of an issue there, and we might be taken advantage by malevolent users who would be like, oh, I've only been here for 9 minutes, but actually they've been there for half an hour. But I would prefer if, you know, life was built around, like, the vast majority of people who try to be good people, instead of, like, the slightly smaller percentage of people who just, like, look at life as a zero-sum game that they try to get an advantage of. Because I think those people are just, like, they're doing that no matter what, right? They're skirting the rules that you set up for the honest people to begin with. Save me for boing here. Hold on. But, like, I had to pay for 5 minutes of parking today. I guess had to. In order to not get a potential ticket, I had to pay for 5 minutes of parking today. I opened the Pay by Phone app on my phone. I entered the data. I was like 5 minutes. Here's my license plate number. They said, thanks so much. That'll be 8 cents! This is the same star. 8 cents! I was holding my kid's jacket, my kid's backpack, my kid's hat, my phone in the other hand. All so the city could get 8 cents? This is not gonna boing either. Holy cow, this one's a disaster. If you could only do 16 star by getting the same star 16 times, what would you do? Which star would you do 16 times? I think I would try to do 16 boings, honestly. I don't know if it's the fastest, but it's the most fun. Plus, can you imagine the dopamine from hitting 16 boings in a row? Oh, or 16 bomb clips in a row? Holy cow. That's what you get for your ridiculous statement? What do you... Why should you have to pay for parking if you're there for 5 minutes or less? It takes you like 30 seconds to pay for parking. That's like, it's too much. They own a parking lot? It's the damn city, man. They didn't make the... I mean, I guess they made the sidewalk and stuff, but... You should have a chip on your car that auto pays. Yeah, when I look through, like, my credit card statements, it's literally, like... Whoops, late split. It's so many, like, less than 50-cent charges from the city of Vancouver for parking. Like, my credit card statement has become, like, unreadable. Hey, LMS, thanks for the gifted subscriptions again. Thank you. Thank you. One day I'll learn how to pronounce it. For now, it's LMS. There you go. You're in on it, too. LMS. Chad, say it. LMS! LMS! Okay. Nice try. Dodging that. I did see someone... They left a message in chat that said, the things you hate in other people are the things you also hate in yourself. I used to believe that because I saw it on a bumper sticker somewhere. But, like, I think that that's actually bullshit. I don't think that is true. Because one of the things that annoys me the most... Handsome Pants, thank you again. See you on the hard court any day now. One of the things that annoys me the most is when I'm driving and people don't use their signal lights. I use my signal lights every time. And then when people don't use their signal lights, I'm like pissed off. So how does your statement compute with that, Soren Kierkegaard? I'm going to the moon, man. I gotta, this is like a 1 out of 10 on the driving things that piss me off schedule, or gradient, I should say. I got a little pissed off today. Me and another car that was, you know, directly opposite from me, were approaching a 4-way stop, where the first person to get to the stop gets to go first. I don't change my speed. If anything, I might even lay off the accelerator a little bit, so that there's no confusion. Because confusion is the thing that slows you down, not being the second person to leave at the 4-way stop. So, this other driver sped up to get to the 4-way stop, like, super quickly. They were like, I'm gonna be first. And then they took the slowest left turn I've ever seen in my life. If you're gonna drive like an asshole, at least, like, go fast. Hey, Mac2232, thank you as well for the gifted subscriptions. I hope it wasn't you. If it was, apology accepted. It's the same thing like when I'm trying to turn left and then the light turns, like, you know, yellow. And I'm trying to sneak through on the yellow so I don't get freaking T-boned or, like, have a pedestrian smack the hood of my car with their purse or something like that. Then, like, 10 cars skip through on the red, but they go through on the red, like, so slow. Like, maybe if I do the crime slowly, people won't notice. And I'm like, I'm trying to get through the intersection legally here, please. If you're gonna be a dickhead, at least be brazen about it. Don't be like, tee-hee, I'm skipping the red. Shit is insane, man. What if the other driver was in chat? Well, like, explain yourself. Like, why do you act like that? Kingsway is real bad for that. Oh, don't even get me started, man. If you gotta turn left on Kingsway, like, cancel my afternoon appointments. I don't have a real job, by the way, but... King's Landing? I wish, man. Even post Season 9. Season 8? What was the last season of Game of Thrones? Season 4? Oh, no, I mean the last season, not the last season worth watching. I-O. That's not really fair. I kind of liked it through to the start of Season 8. Don't bully me? Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it's actually faster to take the elevator and hit the lava and then die. I always slide down that, man. I even thought Season 7 was, like, pretty good. At least at the time. With the benefit of hindsight, it doesn't fit into the pantheon of good TV. But it hadn't regressed so much to be like... I mean, it was noticeable, but it wasn't like, oh, this is garbage now. It was like, well, let's see what you're doing with this. For me, at least. I still remember, like, okay, so I got, like, here's some spoilers for Game of Thrones in case you were gonna watch it. I do apologize. But, like, the first moment for me, where I was like, I think this show might be bad now. That's fine. Was, when, at the loot train episode, where at the end of it, you know, the dragons sack Jaime Lannister's loot train. And then, like, in full body armor, he, like, falls into the river, and you're like, this motherfucker is dead. Or at least, like, something exciting's gonna happen. And then at the start of the next episode, after, like, a week of speculation, he just fucking swims up, like, 100 feet away from the battle and just walks away. And you're like, of all the interesting things you could have done with that moment, like, you could have had some characters interact, but instead you did, like, what I felt was kind of, like, not a very Game of Thrones thing up to that moment, which was you basically just put in an artificial cliffhanger, and then next week you're like, fooled ya, don't worry about it. I feel like the show had not really done that to that point. It was always like, you know, hey, something with consequences gonna happen. And then this time they were like, meh, he's a really good swimmer. Jaime survived on the way back to his home planet. What am I doing? Oh, right, yeah. I forgot how to play Super Mario 64. I can't leave, man. There's a lot more for sure, but like all the three-eyed raven stuff with like Bran amounting to absolutely nothing. I mean, we don't need to go through. We've been through this a lot, but I do remember, and this is like if you want to talk about starting drama, right? I remember. So I'm on the West Coast. I had HBO. I still have HBO, I guess. So joke's on me. Although HBO's kind of sick. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I remember all like the East Coast and Central streamers were watching Game of Thrones when it aired at like 8 p.m. their time. I saw so many tweets after like the Battle of Winterfell aired where people were like, oh, like the tweet would just be like, oh my God. I think I may have just witnessed the best episode of television that I'm ever going to see in my entire life. And I was getting like a little hyped. I was like, yo, like the first episode was kind of like, we're back. And then the second episode was like, oh, this is the calm before the storm. And then this is where things are going to pay off. And then I watched it myself and I was like, this episode was ass. Not just because like the screen was so dark, I couldn't tell what the hell was going on, but it's just like, oh, she literally just like at the end, it's just like a Deus Ex Machina, right? Like, and I was like, it's ass. And most people were like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, what the hell were these streamers smoking, man? They got me hyped for nothing. I'm not saying I started the, like, oh, the Game of Thrones Season 8 sucks train. I'm just saying, does any streamer have taste as good as me? I guess that's what I'm saying. And I think the answer might be no. Fudge! It's not like this was going to PB anyway, but... Woo. Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. Okay? Let's practice, practice. Did you know who Jim Carrey was before he was in The Mask? Bro, literally The Mask came out when I was 5 years old. Did I know who Jim Carrey was in 1993 when I was in senior kindergarten? That's a tough one for me to answer. I hope you understand why. I do remember, so like I didn't see The Mask, but my parents took me to a drive-in, and it was a double feature. The first movie was Monkey Trouble, which is like one of those classic, like a monkey escaped from a science testing facility, and now the only person that can help the monkey get to freedom is like a 9-year-old girl. So that was the first movie, and then the second movie was The Mask, and my parents were like, "Don't watch this; it's too scary for you," and I trusted that. So I just stayed like in the back seat with my head buried in like the blanket, took a little nap or something like that. I can't imagine though, like my parents just watching The Mask at a drive-in, like that, the concept of that is so funny to me. I mean, it was like 30 years ago, basically, but the idea of my parents sitting down and watching The Mask is so funny. Would you let your daughter watch The Mask when she's 5? Honestly, I have no idea. We're gonna have to play that by ear. Jim Carrey does get riddled with bullets, but then it turns out like it's okay because he can just like spit them out. It's kind of a scary movie, just like the mask transformations and stuff kind of scary. This is not even close, man. The cop said it's like fine. He's not even like a real person. Also, I kind of resent the Marvel Cinematic Universe because for a long time, look, let's be honest. For a long time, I could reference Loki, God of Mischief. And people would be like, "What's that?" And I would be like, "It's the Norse god that possessed Stanley Ipkiss in the movie The Mask." And then ever since, you know, Thor 1 came out, everyone's like, "Wow, Loki, god of mischief."
Dear Mario, please come to the
I keep
castle.
thinking George of the Jungle and Mighty Joe Young are the same movie.
Princess Toadstool.
George of the Jungle is Brendan Fraser as Tarzan in a comedy. Mighty Joe Young is kind of like, there's a gorilla in the, he gets kidnapped from like a forest and then put in the zoo, but there's like a lady that's like, don't do that, and she saves him or something. It's a bit of a cosmic gumbo. Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen. I've seen it. I don't remember much. I know that on the cover there's Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and then I believe Tim the Toolman Taylor Thomas is standing behind him, and he has like an arrow through his head, or in his mouth, maybe, something like that. I always get Mighty Joe Young and Meet Joe Black confused. Now, those sound very similar, so I can understand. Meet Joe Black is the movie where Brad Pitt is an angel brought back to Earth, who speaks in a Rastafarian accent for a time. You're thinking of Man of the House? Man of the House is Tommy Lee Jones and Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, those are like 10 years apart. I believe that Cedric the Entertainer is like the coach of the University of Texas Longhorns cheerleading squad. And there's like a threat that they're gonna be hit with like a terrorist attack. So Tommy Lee Jones works for the FBI. I think he has to like protect them. But it's funny because like they're like, eh, and he's all like, wah. Isn't there a movie where John Travolta's an angel? Yeah, you're thinking of the movie Michael from 1995 or 1996, where we don't know if John Travolta is an angel for the whole movie, but he is doing some stuff that is like kind of angelic, and people are like, what? And then at the end of the movie, he disappears, and when he disappears, he leaves behind a motherfucking feather, dude. And you're like, what? I'm going balls out on this one. I mean, balls in? Balls deep? How do you do it? Is it balls out? That's my preferred method. The other way sounds quite painful, honestly. We gotta ask Justin, that's true. Yeah, I gotta figure out if Justin puts his balls inside of a condom. That would be so funny to me. I don't think he does, but how funny would it be if you're like, hey Justin, what do you do with your balls when you put a condom on? He's like, I pop those suckers right in there. That would be funny. You're thinking of City of Angels? Come on, like City of Angels, that's actually a big movie. Everybody knows City of Angels. Nicolas Cage is an angel who visits Meg Ryan. He falls in love. He decides to renounce his eternal life of being an angel in order to have human love. And then literally like the next fucking day, she gets hit by a car and dies. Isn't it ironic? You're thinking of Angels in the Outfield? Don't even get me started. I hate all those movies where like God helps a sports team win a championship by cheating. Did I ever tell you? I'm sure I've told you many times about the children's movie The Sixth Man, where there's like two best friends who are on a high school basketball team, and one of the friends dies, and he becomes a ghost that helps their team win basketball games. So they go from like the worst team in the state or whatever to the state championship. Every time they take a shot, the ghost just dunks it. And like, you know, redirects it so it goes in. He's doing like blocks so the other team can never score. He does this all the way up till the end of the championship game. He and the other team, like the protagonist so-called team and the enemy team are tied. The protagonist shoots a buzzer beater shot from like half court, and the ghost is about to dunk it. And then the protagonist says, Anton, let it go. And then the ghost is like, what? You don't want me to help you win the state championship? And then he lets it go, and it goes around the rim and then goes into the basket. And you're supposed to feel good, right? You're supposed to be like, wow, they won the championship, like, in an honorable way. No, they fucking didn't. They just didn't cheat for 1 second, and the shot went in. You were carried by a literal spirit for 99.8% of your season, and then at the end, you're like, we won honestly. What are you talking? You would have been blown out if you didn't have the ghost on your team. Not just in, like, the final game, but, like, you wouldn't have even made the round of 32. Anyway. It's a long time ago. It's kind of like How High. Yeah, when they go to, when they smoke their smart friend's ashes and then nail the SATs. And then when they go to Harvard, everybody's like, you can't be here, you're dumb. And they're like, you're right, but at the same time, fuck you. 6 Man is a banger. It's not a banger. I mean, I only saw it once as a little kid, but... It's kind of like Legally Blonde. Look, I don't want to be the CinemaSins joke, right? That's like, you know, this doesn't make sense in real life. Ding. But, like, Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde has got to be, like, the most ass lawyer of all time, right? Like, the reason that she wins the case is because she's, like, she couldn't have killed her husband. She exercises. Exercising makes people happy. Releases endorphins. Endorphins make people happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands. Oh, I guess nobody that is exercising has ever committed a crime. She was right, you're a hater. Yeah, I guess OJ didn't do that shit. I mean, first off, he was found innocent, at least in the criminal trial. We won't speak about the civil trial. But the man rushed for 2,200 yards in his senior season at USC. That's exercise. It's literally impossible to kill somebody if there's endorphins in your brain. Maybe a ghost did it. Maybe an owl did it. Squeaks, you ever see The Staircase? Now that's a movie, man. I mean, a documentary. An editorialized documentary. We're pogging. I think you've seen the movie twice and forgot about the rest of Legally Blonde. Well, I just feel like I get that Linda Cardellini then is like, fine, I did it or whatever, right? Because she has a perm. Also, what do they do to Linda Cardellini in that movie? Like, come on, man. You gotta let her shine a little bit more than that. Regardless. I just feel like I'm not court-minded. You know, I'm not a lawyer. I anal. But, like... I feel like if you presented the case that happy people don't kill their husbands in court, the judge would be like, they'd hold you in contempt or something like that. They would be like, get out of here. That's not the law. You go to Harvard Law School to learn that? She doesn't say that in court? Is that true? She says it in a conference room? In that case, I'd like to apologize because I've been beating this drum for probably 8 or 9 years now. She says it in a meeting? Oh, okay, I apologize then. Sorry, L. Woods. My mistake. Spreading fake news. I was spreading fake news. You know what, though? The best time to be right is yesterday. The second best time is right now. I'd like to apologize to the Legally Blonde team. But only the Legally Blonde team, not the people that worked on Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde, okay? And I'm not going to apologize to OJ. I have my own kind of pet theory on OJ. And that pet theory, it's not a popular take, but my pet theory is that he probably did that shit. But that's just me. I'm just the one person. You take care now. I will apologize to Luke Wilson. I remember Luke Wilson is in Legally Blonde. That's true. Linda Cardellini, Ali Larder, Reese Witherspoon, Kathy Najimy. You thought I wouldn't know that one. You thought I wouldn't know that she learns the bend and snap. I think Jennifer Coolidge might be in that as well. Now that I think about it, I think Jennifer Coolidge might have taught the bend and snap. Is that correct? What are these names? You know Kathy Najimy. She's the third... Oh! She's the third witch from... Hocus Pocus. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy. She's the one who rides the vacuum cleaner. Why is she the third? Well, like, okay, Bette Midler's obviously the first. She was like top billing back then. Sarah Jessica Parker is second, but only because she also rides a broom. So I have delineated Kathy Najimy as the third witch because she rides a vacuum cleaner instead of a broom. Psycho. Sarah Jessica Parker rides a mop in that movie. No comment. No comment. I haven't seen it in a while. Was there a part of me that wanted to say, God, I wish that were me? Sure, maybe. But I'm above that. Instead, I'll simply insinuate it. Kathy Najimy also voices Peggy Hill. You know what? Tell me something I don't know. Oh, wait, you just did! I did not know that. I didn't. Is Hank Hill's voice actor famous? No. All right, well, never mind. Yes? It's Mike Judge. Oh, okay, yeah, he's okay, so he's famous. Fair enough. Oh, I was thinking of Judge Dredd. Just kidding. I know who Mike Judge is. PC Load Letter. What the fuck does that mean? I kind of consider myself like the Mike Judge of Twitch a little bit. Because first he was like a Silicon Valley rock star, right? Like he was like the best computer programmer the world has ever seen. And then he's like, this shit's too easy. I'm going to try something hard like comedy. And he's been knocking it out of the park ever since. Judge Judy is horrible? Judge Judy is not horrible. Judge Judy's like kind of entertaining. There's some very funny cases on Judge Judy. I know it's not real, like it's not, I mean, it's legally binding, but only because they sign a document that's like, this is legally binding. But I like hearing these sort of disputes that show up on Judge Judy. Like, it's always shit that you, like, never see in real life. Like, if you read the crimes in the newspaper, it's like, it'll make your skin crawl, right? You watch an episode of Judge Judy, it's always like, they broke my ashtray. And you're like, what, you're doing, we got a whole camera crew because they, like, broke your ashtray? You're seeking $100 in damages? You all flew to Los Angeles for this? Like, that's amazing to me. I'm into it. I also love the stylistic choice they make. When they, like, introduce it, they're like, the plaintiff, Susan Barnes, She's seeking $500 and alleges the dog pooped on a priceless rug. And then they like freeze the frame and they have the typewriter come in and it goes like tick, 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 tick. Susan Barnes, plaintiff. Rug got pooped on. I love that. That shit is like a stylistic choice. That's like the editor's calling card. That's the People's Court. Oh, what's the difference? Whatever, same shit. I also love, it's like the most honest show in American television. Cause like they have like a real judge, and like the People's Court and Judge Judy, they both have real judges. You know, they have like legal training, like extensive legal training. But then like my favorite part is after hearing the case, they go to like a bunch of people with nothing to do during the day that are just standing outside watching in like the cold in the middle of winter in New York City. And they're like, hey, what do you think should happen in the case? And they're like, the people with no experience in the law whatsoever are like, I think she did it. I think she should have to pay. I mean, come on, did you hear this? Where is Ja? Okay. This has been a tight run. I know the splits look bad, but the actual timing is totally fine. There's definitely still some potentiality. Don't. Ooh, saved! That was like a pixel away, man. It's just a pixel away. It's just a pixel away, yeah. You may remember this song from the Rolling Stones concert. That night, the Hells Angels got their way. Tonight, we get ours. When the truth is found to be lies. Sorry, you ever see The Cable Guy? Now that's a movie, man. The whole thing is just wall-to-wall slappers. Rip ear users. Another scary Jim Carrey movie. That's true. He had some freaky movies back then, man. Isn't that the guy from Cars? Oh, you're talking about Larry the Cable Guy. In my head, I was like, are you talking about Jefferson Airplane? No! That's acceptable. I was like, Jefferson Airplane was in Cars? I mean, I could see them in Planes, Fire, and Rescue, but... You know what would be really funny? I'm inspired by this because a lot of people in chat are saying Thomas Jefferson Airplane. But imagine, like, if we could bring back, like, a dead president. One of the first, let's say, 4. Like Washington through Monroe. That might be 5. I can't remember. I always get Monroe and Madison mixed up. And then, like, as soon as we brought them back, like, they came to life and regained sentience in the middle seat on a transatlantic coach airplane flight. But they were dressed like it was the 1700s. Oh, man, I would love to see how, like, George Washington would react to that shit. Like, if you said, "Prithee, dear miss, could you please raise the window shade?" What the hell is that? That would be sick, man. And then when they landed, they'd be like, all right, George, get back in the box. Oh, man. That would be sick. Oh, whoops. He'd probably get back in the box, like, you know, willfully at that point. But he'd probably be like Hugh Jackman. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be the George Washington that, like, gets back on the stage, or if I'm gonna be the George Washington that wakes up in the tub. since there's like a persistent myth that George Washington had wooden teeth, but like, if he had wooden teeth, would he brush his teeth with varnish? Did he have like a urethane toothbrush? Please stop. I'm just saying. It would make sense. Wouldn't that be weird? Who came up with that? Absolute trash. Wahoo! Rip ear users. I had to summon something from within myself to do that. I apologize. I needed that one. Oh, man. Yeah, I hope it wasn't reclaimed wood. Otherwise, he would have paid through the nose for it. What the hell? Nope. That's not the one. Well, that's probably about the same, but I'm just glad I hit it. Well, I guess we're going around every direction this time. Psychotic. Like, why would you throw his so much, man? Why would you throw his so much? That made me jump at work. Are you a basketball player? If so, you're welcome. Beautiful hit. Yes, I am. Let's go. No! Squeeze me! This is another good one, man. I am an engineer roation. Gold Bowser 3 for 1 with a missed throw. 2203 also good. I'm very pleased with this. Give me a slash marker. And that'll be SM64 too. We're gonna run